Hello everyone and welcome back to my Flosstube channel, Starflight Creations. I am Matt. It has been since June 16th since I last shot a Flosstube. I kept planning for things to happen much faster than this, but life just kept getting in the way. I did have a new job that I've been doing, and my first weekend after training when I had a bunch of plans because it was supposed to be a 3-day weekend, and I was like, I'm going to shoot this Flosstube, I think I'm going to shoot a mid-year whip parade, and then I ended up having a 0-day weekend, so that was good for the paycheck, not so great for the Flosstube. So we'll get into what I've done and my plans and try and get this more often going forward. Just a couple of housekeeping life things I want to stay up front. Number one, if anybody is hearing the AC and it's bothering you, I apologize. Normally I turn it off, but it is way too hot out right now for me to do that. I know in Service and Stitches 1, his computer kicks on and he's like, oh, you know, you can hear that, but that's just the computer. I like to just pretend that it's a wolf howling and he's just a werewolf alpha stuck in the mid of Scotland. So make up something fun for it if you can and get past it. Hopefully next time I'll be able to shoot when it's a little bit cooler. Other than that, I want to say thank you for everybody who sent me nice messages on my last Flosstube. I didn't really respond to any of them because I just wasn't emotionally there to respond to it, but I did read them all and I really was touched by all of your responses. So now let's get into the stitching, the fun part. I did 4,421 stitches since I last filmed, which is basically a little bit over a month ago. So that's not too bad for a month's worth of stitching. I tried to at least hit 1,000 stitches a week, so that was over that. And so what did I do? Well, the first thing that I was working on was Museum After Midnight. This is a sal being put on by Lola Crow. Here's what it will look like. Well, here's what it looks like up to now with the 6th exhibit. She released the frame, and then she has been slowly releasing the exhibits each week. I am really far behind. I think right now they just released Exhibit 6 with the little railing and the big frog. I am still way back doing Exhibit 1 and 2. I don't even have the frame finished. At this point, I've just basically decided that I'm not going to be able to keep up, and I'm just trying to do as much as I can. I kept trying to plan this for my days off, thinking I'd get a whole bunch of extra stitches in there, and then those days turned in extra busy, and it turned out I was doing more stitches on the days I had to work than I was on my days off. Sorry, I'm a little out of practice with this. Last time you saw it, it was here. And while I haven't made as much progress as I wanted, I am happy to say that I did get quite a bit of progress in it. And it now looks like this. So I did get 915 stitches in, which brings it to 35,096. I'm not going to give the total number or the percentage because what I have, I think, is still based off of Exhibit 5. But mainly I was working over here in this shark and up here in this other one. I know that they're not actually sharks, but they kind of look like sharks, and I was having fun with that. And then on one stitchy day that I was able to do with friends, I did the kind of dragonfly-like thing because she loves dragonflies, and so I thought that was fun to stitch while I was at her house. This is on, I want to say, a 14 count Ada that I hand dyed myself. Okay, and then the next one I was doing is Ears for Elephant, and unfortunately I don't have photos for this one. I would pull out the one that shows you what it's supposed to look like when it's done, but it's basically almost there. It's just going to have the border around it, and then it's got a different side that you can use to make the back, and then I'm going to make it into a little cushion box. But this one just got 77 stitches into it, bringing it up to 1,559. It was mainly right in here on this, just finishing up some of those flowers. I just pulled this out one day when I really didn't have any energy back in June to work on anything, and so I got some work on that. So that was my second project complete. And then one of my other big ones that I had slated for the weekends, thinking I'd get a lot of work on it, was the Witchy Stitchers Nostalgic Tarot Frame and all the cards. This is a version of what it can look like when it is all done. This is what it looked like the last time you saw it. And so basically, what I have done on it is continued on with the black floss. I took black satin floss and put it in for the 310 because I'm doing it on a black 16 count Ada that I hand dyed and then hand painted with gold paint to look like stars. And just the black on black wasn't really popping, so I did the satin floss to kind of give a little bit of a shine to it. And so I just filled in some more of the black on the panda. And this one got 170 stitches, bringing it up to 5,076 of 111,116, which brings it to 4.6%. I wish I still had just the one card into Pattern Keeper, so I can know how close I was to just being done with the one card, because I feel like I have to be at least like 80% done on the card, since how I just have I just have to bring the black on the sides down a little bit, which is kind of hard to see, and then finish up some black in the body. And then I just got some gray. The pattern calls for DMC number 3, which is a gray, and I got a Cosmo equivalent sent to me that I'm going to put in. So I just have that, and then I have just a little bit more rainbow items below its feet. And then my next pattern. My next pattern was one I believe I showed off last time in the in my last video as a start, which is the Pafulia handmade pattern bookmarked Wheel of the Year Samhain. This is slightly sponsored, I guess. They gave me the kit for free in return for talking about it on Instagram. So I believe last time I was talking about unboxing it and what the kit felt like and starting it, and I have now put in 963 stitches, bringing it up to 1,247 total, and it is now finished. So I made it into the full bookmark. It was my first time using blanket stitch. they had really good instructions. I feel like some of my stitches were better than others, but it seems to have served its purpose and doing good. So even as a newbie to that stitch, it seems to have worked out well. Now, having gone through the whole kit, my feelings on it, I really liked the pattern. There were several points where I got to the point where I'm like, are these colors going to work? Does the scheme work? And then kind of like the way that you do on a full coverage pattern, where you're like, trust the process, trust the pattern, and you work your way through it, and then when you put in more, the things look really good. It had that, which kind of made me feel like it had better coloring options then, if you're kind of getting that feel with just a small bookmark. So that was nice. It was really nice and easy to stitch on, even with the pattern is a colored pattern, so I wasn't able to put into like Pattern Keep or anything, but it still was very nice and easy to stitch on. They made it so that way the colors were distinct enough that you weren't worrying about which one is this one or that one. There were only a couple points that I had issues with. One of them with the thread on the floss drops that they gave you, which was all my user issue. I've just never worked off of a floss drop before, and so I kind of was like unraveling them into single strands, and then I was watching Crafty Emily's videos and saw her cutting the bottoms of the things and was like, oh yeah, duh, I knew that. I went in and cut them, and then everything turned out amazing. So that was more user issue. And like I said in the last one, the only other thing that I had issues with was the fabric being pre-cut, and that's because I don't stitch in hand. Throughout the entire process, I still didn't like stitching in hand. And with it pre-cut, I don't think, like, even if I got like one of the smallest, the like 2-inch hoops, and I just felt like that would have been too small. Like, still, like, it might have worked, but it wasn't what I wanted. If I did a kit again from them that was a bookmark, what I would do is just get my own Ada, because, you know, white Ada that's 14 count is cheap and you can find it everywhere. And I would just do it in a hoop and then cut it to the size of their pre-cut Ada afterwards. And that would have made the process a little bit easier for me. But I do know lots of other people who like stitching in hand or can switch back and forth between stitching in hand and stitching in the hoops. I'm just not one of them. So I did everything that the pattern called for except for the words. The words are supposed to fill out Salwan. I think that's how it's properly pronounced. My friend will kill me. She has only explained it 17 times to me, and I have immediately forgot it every single time. But she was the one that I chose this pattern out for, and I showed it to her and was like, I think that it looks a little bit better without. Let's see if I can't get this up. The lettering. And she agreed. She thought it looked better without the lettering, so I left it off. But other than that, I followed everything, and I was really impressed with the kit. I really felt like it would have been a great kit for someone who was new and starting. It had all the floss you needed, it had good detailed instructions, the pattern was good. The whole process of the kit was great, and so, like I said, I had no major issues. Most of my issues were my issues, not anything to do with the company or the pattern. And I would definitely order from them again. Matter of fact, I have gone in and ordered a bigger pattern from them. So that should be coming soon, and that will be fun. But that is my first finish of the year, I think. At least according to Pattern Keeper it is. I think I might have had maybe a small like ornament, but I don't think so, but I don't know. But according to Pankeeper, it's the first finish of the year, which is great because my RPG character creator is dying. I put in all of my stitches for June, and I got a 4. So currently my strength is a 3, and my dexterity is a 4. And for reference, for anybody who doesn't know D&D, the average human male is considered an 8. You generally want to get your character up to somewhere around the range of like 12 for things that you really, sort of want, and kind of bump them up to like 14 for the things that you really want. So being down at a 3 and 4, my character is definitely glass cannon hand in the back. For the month of July, it's Constitution, which is your health. If I get a number that low, my character will die with any hit. So I really am trying to do a lot better this month, and a finish will definitely help that. So after I finished Samhain, I did a little bit of stitching on Tiger with Butterfly. And by a little bit of stitching, I mean a little bit. I did 4 stitches. I'm not even going to show that. I am hoping to get more stitches in that in the future. And then we go to Darkthorn. Darkthorn Keep is a Stitchy game that I created based on the Stitchy game that Justin Marie Does Stuff created, Milestone Manor. You can go check out her channel to find out all about it. Mine, I feel, is distinct enough because, number one, I created it when she just kind of teased the idea before she really said how to play it. And number two, a lot of hers is all based off of milestones, hence her name. None of my projects, as you can probably tell, are that far along that they're getting milestones. So I had a different goal, different vision. So mine, I spin a wheel, and it gives me a project. I've been spinning the wheel twice each week to get a project, and then I have to put 100 stitches into that project. I have 6 projects to show since the last time I shot a Flosstube. But first, my character is deep in the catacombs exploring them, and last time everybody decided that they wanted us to go right from that middle room, so we went off to the right, and so we explored 6 spots in there. So we did the 2 rooms that are kind of one on top of each other, the big room with all the lights and the pews, the small little room off to the side, went up into the big room with the skeleton on the side of it, and then into the room with all of the lights. Next, I think we're going to go back up into the room with the skeleton and up into all of the rooms up there, and then make our way over to the left side. So that is what people decided we were going to do last time, and so that's what we did. So the first one, hold on a second. I want to check to see if I forgot a picture. Nope, apparently I don't have a picture of that one. Okay, so the first one I did was Acorns and Threads, which apparently I don't have a photo of. It lives in this nice little project bag. Those of you in the know, you'll know that this was on Crafty Emily's channel from Vlogmas last year. So that was a nice little present I got myself then, with the full little set. And so, this is what it looked like the last time you saw it, and I put in 114 stitches, bringing it up to that. There we go. So all of my stitches were in the black and the skunk's body, going around that tail and extending it out down towards the head. So that brings it up to 679 stitches out of 7,529, and it is now at 9%. So that was the first one that I rolled. And then the second one is one that I know is one of my friends' favorite, and one that I know is a lot of other people's ears' favorite, which is Living Room Set number 2. I bought this a long time ago on mybobbin.com. It is now no longer there. The artist Alina Lartsova, which I believe I have been saying for a while was Russian. I now believe, after doing a little bit more research, that she is Ukrainian. So I apologize for that. But also, I don't believe a single penny of this has gone to She Who Has Not Been Named. She Who Must Not Be Named. And so I am fully happy to continue stitching on this. I did get the set that has all 4 common rooms, and I am planning to work my way through the rest of them after this. But so that's what it will look like when it's finished. This is what it looked like the last time you saw it. And here is what it looks like now. So mainly what I did was I was up here, and I would take a color and work it down as far as I could till it either ran out, my thread ran out, or my patience ran out, and then I would choose the next one and go down. So I put 148 stitches into this, bringing it to 19,939 of 24,627, which is 81%. And I was really happy because this one is now less than 5,000 stitches to go. So I was really excited about that. It is on a 14 count black Aida for absolutely no reason. The rest of them I will not be doing on that. The next one that I spun was Steampunk Portal. Steampunk Portal is by L&L Designs. It was charted by Heaven Earth Designs for their Stitch Along in 2025. I did not do great on it. As you can tell from this last photo of where you saw it. So I put in 105 stitches onto this, bringing it up to 358 out of 85,264, or 0.4%. The thing that I think that gets me on this is, one, it's a whole lot of black stitching, and I haven't pulled out any of the other colors to really go at it, and it's on a 22 count Country Mocha, and I think that just the lighting situation I have currently isn't working really great for those low counts, and so I just kind of need to improve that lighting situation going forward. So the next thing I spun was a Magic Book. I forgot to write down what that one's by. It's in a previous video, or I will be releasing my web parade before the end of the week, and I will let you know there. So this is what it will look like when it is all finished. I'm doing this on a 14 count white Aida. This is what it looked like the last time you saw it. And this is what it looks like now. So basically, I was over here, and I just continued the black up into the castle. I just put in 105 stitches on this, bringing it to 1,226 of 223,065 stitches, or 0.5%. And then I worked on Threads of Deceit. Now, only 100 stitches of Threads of Deceit went into Darkthorn Keep, but I did keep Threads of Deceit out and kept working on it. So Threads of Deceit was a murder mystery stitch along back in 2023 by stitchingling.com, which is now no longer stitchingling.com, and now is something else. This was one of the first things that basically taught me I'm not a person to jump into mystery stitch-alongs. At least now without some more information, or at least hints of what the pattern will look like. What I got when I bought into it was that you would be solving a murder through stitching. Sounded like a great premise. Sounded so much fun. I was all about it. I loved the first drop. I loved all of the information that you got about the murder mystery. And then it came to the pattern. And I just felt the pattern didn't speak to me. Didn't really speak to the murder. I kind of felt like the pattern dropped off. And for me, that is where my interest dropped off, and why the pattern kind of dropped off and just sat in drawers forever. Because now, I have finished it. It is 2,003 stitches grand total. This should not have taken 3 years. It took 3 years because it really wasn't my stitching. So I did put in 1,117 stitches since the last time you saw it. The last time you saw it, it looked like that. Now, it looks like this. So for a while, I was kind of trying to decide what I wanted to do with this, because I really didn't want to hang it up in my room. I didn't really know anybody that I could give it to who would want to hang it up. And what I just think I'm going to do is put it onto a project bag. I feel like on a project bag it will be nice. I can put some nice fabric around it that will make it more my own. And I feel like it will fit good. So that is what I've decided to do with it. But I was really excited to have my second finish and to get another old project out of the Thorny Keep. And then the last one I had was kind of both a I used part of it for Darkthorn Keep and part of it for Whipco, because it was one of the Whipco calls I had for this year. And what am I talking about? I am talking about Penance by Long Dog Samplers. This is on a I believe a 22 count Ada that I hand dyed. And the last time you saw it, it looked like this. With one little tiny rabbit and another head. And I put in 223 stitches into this total, bringing it up to 504, and it now looks like this. So that's 504 out of 81,612 or 0.6%. So not only did it get my 100 stitches for Dark Daring Keep, but it got it up to the 500 stitches for to get out of WhipGo, and so I was able to put money into the advent calendar. So I stole an idea from Crafty Emily, and so I created a WhipGo New Start. And so each one of these dates on the calendar has a project in it. And so when Justin Marie calls a date, I pull that one out and see which one it's calling for me to start. And when I get 500 stitches into that start, I put $5 into that box. At the end of the year, I'll be able to pull them out and do something fun with that money. Maybe go to a retreat, maybe put down for a nice pattern. We shall see. So far, I think I put in twice since the last time you saw it. So one of them was penance. So that got its $5. One of the ones that I decided to do for that got called, I think this one got called way back in January, but it finally got started now, was Colorful Jungle Stroll Max Color, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. So this is a new start, so I don't have a last time you saw it, but here it's where it's at. I am doing this on 25 count easy grid, and I am doing this 2/1 half cross. So that is 242 half cross stitches, 413,175 or 0.1%, and I am kind of doing, at least trying out the typewriter method that and the Max Color Stitcher uses from Stitching Mommy. Trying to see if, because normally I just kind of like choose a thread and work out that thread, and hers basically does the same, but kind of like, I don't know, helps you decide which thread to do and where to go with it, because you kind of take a block and go along the top. So I've been trying that out to see if it will work for me, if it will work for my brain. But so this one I've been trying to get up to the 500 stitches on. So far I've only made it about halfway. And so my last one, both for WhipGo and for my whips, or works in progress, is the Reader, the Queen and the Needle series, by the Primitive Hair. So this one is a needle book, and I decided I would go ahead and do it as a needle book. Not that I think that I really need a needle book, but just because I haven't done a lot of non-photo frame finishes, and I kind of wanted to try some of these ones. So this one, I believe, was a new start since the last time I shot, and I have put 504 stitches into this, and so now it looks like this. So I started in the center because it's a paper pattern, and so I went off of the page I could copy from my working copy, and so I did the words, and then I kind of made my way over to the right hand side, and I started working on the little bookcase there. And I've been doing this one at work, trying to get up to that 500 stitches. So I got up there and I put my money in my calendar. I don't have a percentage on that one because, or stats on that one because it is a paper pattern. So that is all of my stitching for the last little bit. So, my plans. Hold on 1 second, I just need to grab something, because of course that is not two-hand. So, my plans going forward. I am going to work on Dragon's Lair, E is for Elephant, Wandering the Middle Earth, and The Chase for Darkthorn, and that will bring me up to the 1st of August. And after that, I am going to put Darkthorn Keep away for August. Just because I have a plan coming up in August that I will talk about shortly. For WhipGo, let me get to my WhipGo things. So, I still have Night and Day, which has not been started. The Summoner, which has barely been started at 44 stitches. The Your Goddess, which has not been started. Jungle Walk, which is at 242 out of 500. Stitcher's Haven, which has not been started. Frankie, which has not been started. And Elemental Dragons, which has not been started. And then for the month of July, she called Christmas Village Set and Dragon Whisperer. So I am going to start Christmas Village Set because number one, it's a Christmas thing, and then I can do some Christmas in July. And then number two, I want to give it to my mom for Christmas. So I want to kind of get started on it so I can get going. I did find this mottled gray fabric at the thrift store, which I think will work. I just have to pull it out and check to see how big it is, because I can tell that they just kind of shoved it into the tube, because the tube says it is 28 count linen, and it is definitely a 14 count either, from what I can tell from looking at it. So I want to pull it out to take a look at it, but I think that that will work for that. So I don't know if I will be able to get too much more done on WhipGo, since I will take the Christmas Village to work on that. If I do work on it, I think I'm going to try and either hit the Summoner or Year of the Dragon, just to try and get my, which I don't even think Year of the Dragon is in there, so you just have to be Summoner, to try and get those not to count against me for the RPG Character Creator Challenge, because they have less than 200 stitches in them. So that is what I'm looking at for WhipGo. I think I might kind of pause on jumping onto anything new for a little bit, just because I have some big plans in August. And so what are those plans, you might ask? Well, I'm glad you asked, as Stuart would say. I have been watching everybody do Big Brother stitching, and football stitching, and the World Cup stitching, and Great British Bake Off stitching. And I never seemed to have the time to hit any of those, or they were things that I really didn't feel like watching, and it just seemed, I don't know, it didn't pull me enough if I wasn't going to go and watch them to go and try and follow the game for stitching. So I kind of was like, well, what do I want that I think I could make a game out of that I could do stitching on? And for a while I thought about books. I thought about making a little book chart and whatnot. And then I decided, you know what? One of the things that I really brought me into creating a channel and, you know, jumping into all this was the community. And since my channel was started in August, I felt like August would be a great time to try and reconnect and reinteract with the community, and also a way to try and convince me to put out videos more regularly, and maybe to interact with my Instagram, since, you know, I'm got the Petrivia Handmade sponsor from Instagram. You know, posting more on it, maybe one of the bigger companies will see me and send something. So I decided I am going to do August, August. And for August, August, I am going to create a bracket system. And so for the bracket system, I will have 16 people. Myself, 2 of my friends, and 13 stitchy friends out there who want to jump in on this. So, what will it require? It's going to be very simple. I am going to put out my mid-year web parade so people can see all of my projects. Then all they have to do is say, hey, this sounds fun, I would like to be this project. Say, I would like to be Penance, I would like to be Colorful Jungle Stroll. So then I will assign you it. I will draw from a hat and put everybody out on the board. And then on August 1st, you will send me the number of stitches that you complete on a project. I don't care what project it is. I just want it to be one project, so that way you're not doing, you know, 17,000 stitches for someone's, you know, 200. But just your stitches on one project for the day of August 1st. Then I will have everybody assigned to a thing, and then they will go off. And so for the first week, I will do 1,600 stitches. 100 stitches on each of the projects that these people have chosen. Then, whichever of those 2 projects got the most stitches sent by their sponsor will advance to the next round. And for that week, I will do 200 stitches. And then on August 8th, whoever won there will send me their stitches. And they'll go against that, and they'll go to the next one. And so that'll go 300. And so that will go each week, and it'll go up until we have a winner. So, for 8 of the 16 people, you'll only have to send me your stitches on one day on August 1st. I figured it's something that is community generated, community fun, but it's not asking for a whole lot out of the community. You're already doing your stitching anyway, so you just send me a number and say, hey, I did 427 stitches today on the project that I chose. And then that will go, and then you can see if your project that you sponsored moves forward, and we will see which one of these projects can get a whole bunch of stitches put into it. So that is my plans for August. This one will be the first one I will be talking about it on. So if you have seen any of the projects I have just shown, or projects that you have seen in my past, feel free to jump on and throw it out. It will be first come, first served. And like I said, I am trying to put up by Friday my mid-year work parade, so that will have all of my projects on there. Once I have both this video and that video up, I will post about it on Instagram, just to try and get the 13 other people that I need. And so that is my plans for August. I am really hoping to have a lot of fun with that and get a lot of stitching put into projects, maybe on some of the ones that I haven't touched in a while. So like I said, it's just going to be knocking out the last little bit of dark thorn that I can get before August starts, and basically focusing on the ones that will hurt me for the RPG Character Creator Challenge. The one I will be doing for August, I have kind of cheated. In August, me and my friend Nastasia are doing a project for each other. She chose Bottle That Shit Up by the Witchy Stitcher, so I will be stitching that for her. I thought I had... Dang it. I had my fabric for that all... Oh, there it is. Set aside, and then I shoved it away. So I will be doing that, provided it fits, on this nice little fabric that I got at the Witchy Stitcher Retreat. So I just felt that that would be a perfect little thing. I believe it will be big enough. I need to double check. And she is going to do a Castles and Dragons by, I think it's Foxy Floss Shop. I'm not entirely sure, but she has decided she's going to do that one for me. So I cheated and I'm putting that as my project that I'm going to be working on, just because I know I'll be doing that on August 1st. So we'll see how many stitches I can get in on that and still play my game. Well, thank you for anybody who came, and I know it's been a while since I shot my last one. I'm hoping to keep them more on a schedule going forward, but we shall see. In the meantime, happy stitching, and like I said, let me know if you would like to sponsor one of my projects for my game, and I will see you in my major whip parade.